Waheguru folks, what's up? This is Jazzy from Modern Dao. Thank you so much for your time. And today we must talk about Yoga Mela, which is a beautiful festival from the south of Sweden. I just came back from it about a week ago, and it's the first time in my life that I was camping for 6 days in a row. And I had to say, it's indeed a quite interesting experience. There's definitely ups and downs when I was there. There's definitely ups and downs ever since I was back. And today I'm super excited to share my latest take and deep reflection with you. It's a group of people came from all over the world and coming together, being in one space and celebrating life, doing yoga, chanting, and showing support and love for each other. It was really indeed beautiful. There's a guru there who lives in that community. And for what have happened in the past in the Kundalini community, that myself and a lot of my friends were quite conscious and even skeptical about this archetype or about the guru or the so-called guru. And I done some research, and there's always all different kind of information on the internet. And for example, I have found one Reddit thread that they were saying that the people in the past that they used to live there, they felt a little bit emotional overwhelmed, an emotional hijack. That was emotionally empowering, and that was the word that they have used. It was indeed very, very much so a warming experience. And it's super easy to talk to each other. It's super easy to make friends as well. It was incredible, right? Maybe you're talking to somebody at breakfast, and then, for example, that's what I did. I talked to somebody at breakfast, and they are from Malmo, where they live in Malmo, which is one of the largest cities in Sweden. And we ended up hanging out, spending the next couple of days together, right? From breakfast, you share a conversation. You ask about how did you get here? What was it like of your journey when it comes to yoga? What's your intention of being here, right? It's very beautiful and unique because it seems like compared to the normal society that we skipped this small talk that we had at the beginning. Definitely bring your eye mask and bring your earplugs so that when you sleep, because in the summertime in Sweden, that the sunset is quite late, but the sunrise, or essentially the sky, gets bright super, super early. If you didn't have an eye mask, or if you're staying in the safari tent, which is a tent they provide, essentially it will get quite bright and you'll wake up super early. Or perhaps you want to bring your own tent, which is also fantastic as well. So number one, bring your gear, of course. And actually a funny story, I went there with a backpack. I was extremely underpacked. And actually I didn't even bring a towel, but I had a shirt from my dear friend's brand called Dawn. And I used that towel, I used that shirt, which is made out of wool, for a towel for an entire week. It was indeed quite yogic style. And I would say that quote number 2 is that get up early. There's yoga every day at 6 a.m. So feel free to be quite hardcore and go to those classes, but at least get up every day to go to breakfast, right? The breakfast porridge with some oats, which is lovely. And even some croissants as well. That at breakfast, I would say is probably one of the best time to connect with people, because it was in the morning, it's quiet, and people are just freshening up, enjoying a tea and some sort. I would say that's indeed a great time to start a conversation and talk with other people about how they are feeling. So tip number 3, open mind, open heart, and be ready for a lot of possibilities, right? So for example, you might go to a very cool yoga event, and then you got into yoga or different kind of yoga. For example, that Vivian, which is a great yoga teacher, she teaches Ayu yoga, which is great. She also taught yin yoga. Maybe in the past you always done vinyasa, but you go to the festival, you start doing yin yoga, and that's how you fall in love with it. You do things for the bigger community. And there's some magic to that, in my opinion, which is we, in our society, the modern day, we have lived so long that only for ourselves. We have lived so long in the age of social media, in the age of technology. We believe that everything could be solved by technology, that everything could be solved if we only take good care of ourselves. But how about your extended family? How about your community? How about the street that you're downstairs, the building that you are living at? Those are the things that people in the past, perhaps, and especially in China in the ancient years, that we have done that. We have treated your neighbor like yourself. We have loved and cared for your neighbor like yourself. Because at the end of the day, the city life is something like you wake up in a box, then you check your black box, which is your phone, then you work in front of the box, which is your computer or your screen, then you live in a box, then you go to work in a box, which is your car, then you stay the majority of your time in a box, which is in the office, then perhaps you go to the gym, which is in a box, and then at the end of the night, you look at a box, which is the television. And it seems that we have our humanity, our society, I lived both in the East and the West, that we have forgotten something that is so primal, that is so simple, that is so unique, which is opening your heart and channeling this care for one another without wanting something in return. And that is how I felt from the community, from the event at Yoga Mela. And I really think that's something perhaps from this community that I encourage a lot of people across the globe begin to do that more so. If you happen to be watching this video, if you happen to be doing something similar, and I really give you a lot of respect, a lot of love, and I hope that your community can carry on growing bigger and bigger and become more and more strong and more loving. Because I think that is something that we really, really need. Because we cannot live our life, our society, much longer only thinking about ourselves, only thinking about how do I pose in front of social media, what do I need to write in the caption, because that, in the Sanskrit, is called Maya, which is the illusion of the self, which is extremely dangerous because you already have an ego, you already have a personality, and then your personality has another personality, which is the social media, the profile, the character you're trying to play into, and that become a burden because you're always trying to be perfect, you're always trying to live out to this image, that it becomes extremely tiring for yourself and for those people around you. And perhaps you might want to take some time to pause, to wonder, is that really me? Is that something I really, really want? Or perhaps that is just something, the identity that, like a suit, that could be shed away. And only by shedding that away, you could turn from a bug into the butterfly, to go through that transformation process, to shine bright and inspire the world. And I believe that is something that I really learned and reflect from Yoga Mela. Thank you so much for watching. There are a lot more music, a lot more interviews and content, not only from Yoga Mela, but about consciousness, about the purity, about the love that coming from this channel. So make sure you hit subscribe button and share this with the dear friends. This is Jazzy. Much love. And today, across Europe and across America, all over the world, there are a lot of people and a lot of communities are doing that. And if you happen to be watching this video, feel free to drop a comment down about if you know some of these communities, because I would like to go there and visit and create some content and be connected with community like this, because I think that is so important. With the age of technology, artificial intelligence, and so much advancement, and it's inevitable that it's going to be more and more simple, that more and more people is going to come back to the simple, the simplicity of the heart, which is environment, which is nature, which is love, which is community, which is care.